we are here again. So this time, it's only gone and done it. It's only gone and done it. It's your boy Sleepy Joe Gaming. I'm going to show you how to get 3k. This is a 3k Paladin guide in Season 3. Is it Season 3? Season 3, The War Within. We're going to go through gear, we're going to go through changes, and we're going to get you ready to just jump in, play a Paladin, and hopefully you're going to be as good as me and hit the 3k. Okay, people, right, so we're going to jump straight in because we're not messing about. You know the drill. If you've watched all my other Paladin guides, or I'd say Paladin guides, because we've only done Paladin so far. We are on a journey for 2.5k in every single class, so if you haven't seen that, it is on my YouTube channel. Bash, little plug there. But, right, we're going to jump in. We're going to jump straight in. So, if you've watched my Season 2 video, not really a lot has changed apart from, like, the tier. The tier lists are important because the tier gears are the, like, activations that come with it. Because last tier, it was, like, a buff to Final Verdict that you become, like, a power-hungry insanity of a Paladin. And you can just keep spamming Final Verdict. It is Final Verdict. I was fucking doubting myself then. Final Verdict over and over and over again, and it not take up like holy power. You ended up in like a state of mind that you didn't lose holy power. So we haven't got that this time, but Paladins are still banging. I mean, Divine Storm is an absolute game changer for Paladins. Literally, Mythic Plus wise, they do tend to falter in raids, but I've tried to change a few talents and stuff to the raids to try and benefit me personally. But yeah, it is what it is. That I've seen a lot of Paladins in raids that use a lot of haste and progress further. But we're gonna run through that. So talent trees, pretty much the same. There's not really anything here. I'm in the wrong spec. Anyway, one sec. Obviously, for mythics, you need to take blinding light, and then you've got like divine storm and stuff like that. Cleanse, and then it's roughly the same. Just make sure that you're using execution sentence, because in Season 2 there was like a divide of paladins that used final reckoning to execution sentence, and execution sentence did align perfectly, absolute perfectly with the Signet of Priory trinket. Now, it's not going to be like very informative guide because there's a lot of things still the same. We voted for the dungeons. The dungeons trinkets are literally the depending now. You've got to be depending on gear. This is my talents. You can, copy these from Wowhead or anything like that. Mine may have a few adjustments to like Mythic Plus and stuff like that, because I'm doing like 14s, close to 15s. So there may be a few little adjustments in here, but you can copy these. Yeah. So next we're gonna be talking about gear. Now this time around there's a lot of gear with crit on. Now that's banging, great, but there's also a lot of gear with haste on and a little bit of verse, and this time around I have like been sucked into like just hammer mastery, hammer crit. But the only thing is, crit, there's a lot of trinkets now in the raid that use crit. Especially when you're doing mythics, it's not so bad because the only trinkets you're wanting to go for, it's very dimensional of what people want. So you've got like the improved C4 in Pacemaker, which for me is banging. It was banging last season. It's banging again this season in mythics. And then we've got the Signet of Priory again, banging last season, banging this season. 100% recommend going for the Signet purely because of the use. It raises your Signet of Light, increasing your high secondary stat by 8,200 for 20 seconds. Your act inspires nearby Signet bearers within your party, granting them 229 of the same stat for 20 seconds. So if you're running with anyone with this, and this normally is a contender for best in slot for most classes, you know, you're going to be bursting damage. Now, this is what I'm coming to in a minute. Look at my crit. So my crit's at like 39%, which is banging. You know, it would like more mastery, but it's great in the sense, you know, I'm not getting a penalty, because anything above like 40%, you get a penalty for like your secondary stat. Look, like my mastery, absolutely fine, no problem. But when we're engaging in the fight, this is where you've got to be contentious of. So even though I was fighting the Seaporium, it was only like lacking a little bit. It was only like overtaking me crit wise. So you've got to watch out, because a lot of gear out there does have crit, like your boots, which is going to be your best in slot, because they power your Reshi wraps. You get these from the demon hunters within the raid. Definitely best choice. You know, a lot of things have crit on, and a lot of things have like the most of crit. You know, crit haste on your tier, haste again, haste again. You know, you want to burst out mastery, but a lot of triggers have crit on them. Your best in slot, so you want to try and like dim it down a little bit, because obviously the antenna, if you get the antenna early on, it releases orbs that can like stack. What is it? Stacking. Multiply applications may overlap, so it stacks basically. So I'm not too sure how many orbs it releases, but it does stack, which obviously enlightens my enlightens, don't know, bit dyslexic here, but we get on. So it basically takes my crit too far over the threshold, and it takes it even further to the point of it gets a penalty. So me personally, at this stage, try and change your like maybe not get the antenna, maybe swap it for the sack brood, which gives you haste instead of crit. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's basically crit and strength, with haste and strength, sorry, which is banging. So the only reason why I'm using the Signet at the minute is purely because of the usability with execution sentence, which is banging. But yeah, the waste now coming up to like the end of season 3. You know, I should have really got rid of this. This is my only like wedge of gear that I actually wanted to get rid of. But yeah, you just wanna mimic it, especially with like the tier pieces. Now, if you look at guides, all these tier pieces are like best in slot, but me personally, I would change one of these purely because I'm like crit heavy. I'll probably change maybe the shoulders, maybe the chest, because it's got crit on and it's got a little bit of haste on as well. So yeah, if you can, try and switch one of these and only stick to the 4 set, because the 5th set you don't get any more bonus. So yeah, so obviously the tier list, if you're only coming on to a paladin early and you don't know what it does, always push for your set bonus on, even on any class, not just paladins, because your Emporium Hammer deals 20% increased critical strike damage, and its critical strike have 50% chance to grant an additional stack of light deliverance. Then the 4 set, Hammer of Light deals 35% increased damage to its primary target, strikes 3 additional secondary targets, and now be cast 1 more time after Wake of Ashes. So you imagine that in the Mythic Plus situation. You've got ads all around you. Hammer of Light deals like 30% more. Then it hits 3 additional secondary targets. So depending on how big the pull is, absolutely big. And then obviously Wake of Ashes is massive. And then obviously like you can cast it 1 more time after Wake of Ashes, so it's like a double whammy, which is banging, plus your trinket, plus your temper potions is going to be absolutely fire. So, depending on what you get from the drops, people, you know, it is what it is. Try and mimic it around that. Make sure you're not capped. you know, you should be fine. You should be fine leading up to the end of when you're trying to like get mythic gear. That is probably the only downside to it, if I'm honest with you. But like, you know, as we do, we're going to go through rotation. It's going to be my trinket first. Always pop your trinket before execution sentence, and then obviously it's going to be wake of ashes, then judgment, and so on and so forth. But I'm just going to show you the damage output. So, you know, just to prove, chat, I'm 3k. Obviously, I've started my challenge now, so we probably won't advance more than. Just make sure you check on your gear, because obviously your best in slots, personally, weapon, big best in slot. If you can get your weapon, I know it's late on in the season 3. If you can get your weapon straight away, go for the weapon. Then it's your bracers, and then me personally, it will be the belt. Get the belt. Later on in season 3, you can like craft more. Your embellishments you really want on your weapon, and your gear, your wrists, if that's what you're aiming for first. Make sure they're all embellished. And now, before we go in, I'm gonna do this. So I've been using the flask of chaos. I don't even know how to spell that. Alchemical. I don't even know how to announce that. But chaos. So a lot of people last season was using the crit pot. Me personally, this one's a little bit better. Yes, it does drop off when obviously the random effects like not great, but for me, I've seen a big increase in DPS with this item. But obviously, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, make sure you use your Algorian mana, which we're gonna pot up. We're gonna pot up because I want to see you lot. I want to show you lot the amount of damage you do. So this is with the antenna. This is with the antenna I've got now. You will see this. This will be a penalty. It just is. It is what it is. Right. Let's get without further ado. So divine toll. Yeah. I mean, he clearly shows it at the top, so you know what I'm pressing, so I don't even have to edit in the video. But here we go. Right. Trinket. Execution sentence. I have the storm. Blade of justice. I have the storm. Judgment. I have the storm. I have the storm. Blade of justice. I have the storm. Blade of justice. I have the storm. Storm. Divine storm. Divine storm. Why do I keep calling it I have the storm? I have no idea. But look at my damage. I mean, 17 mil. These are the orbs that I'm talking about with the antenna. If you don't know what the antenna does, the orbs do separate. So we haven't got a trinket. So execution sentence. We're going to do this for probably another minute. There's the orb again. So obviously it stacks again. You do lose a little bit of DPS outside of the trinket not being popped, but you know, make sure you keep judgment up as well. But yeah, that's it. So coming out of it, your Emporium Hammer. So that's from your tier. That's your biggest damage. It's 133 mil in that occasion. Then it was Hammer of Light. Hammer of obviously Light. When you use Wake of Ashes, Hammer comes available, and then obviously it will come available again. So you do have like 2 instances of it, and it is calculated at the bottom as well. So obviously it shows you the first initial Hammer of Light and then the second Hammer of Light of how much it does. Emporium Hammer as well. But your main abilities in a pack situation is going to be Emporium Hammer, which is obviously your tier list gear, and then Hammer of Light coming in there with a 30% extra damage. But we're going to go through it really slow, just so you can get a little bit of rotation. So, execution sentence. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna pop my trinket. It's on like a little cooldown. Oh, it's 10 seconds. Might as well wait. Go on, Mage. I'll let you go. I'll let you go after it, Mage. Right. So here we go. So this is saying judgment for some reason. Don't know why. Don't start off with the judgment. It's not worth it. Right, now all the cooldowns are here, so make sure you're ready and stuff. Your tempered potion, you want to use in like dire fights. So when there's like either hero popping or anything like that, you want to be using that because it will give you big damage. But we're going to go in with Divine Toll, Blade of Justice. Then we're going to go like Divine Hammer. So Divine Hammer is an AoE as well. In a single target build, you probably wouldn't use that, if I'm honest with you. But Well, you probably would. It's still like a damage over time. So right, so we're gonna go in divine toll first, people. So divine toll, blade of justice, then you've got divine hammer, then it's your execution sentence trinket. You've got to be on that. Blade of justice, divine storm. You temper to get divine storm, judgment, get the debuffs on it. Blade of justice. It's a nice casual. You don't have to spam these buttons, but spamming the buttons does help a little bit. So again, execution sentence, then you've got Wake of Ashes. That is a big one. Execution sentence obviously does the damage. Wake of Ashes does an absolute ton of damage when you need it to. And obviously in Mythics as well, I just want to point out this is a talented ability. But when you rebuke a target, it also does a Crusader Strike on the target as well. I'm pretty sure, where is it? It's improved in Rebuke, so yeah. So successful interrupts an enemy with Rebuke, cast an extra critical strike. So that is literally, it can be done while attacking and stuff, so you'll absolutely bang them with that. If you need any help with Mythic Pluses and a Paladin, you're more than welcome to join my Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/SleepyJoeGaming. So yeah, there's not really a lot I can tell you, apart from just watch your gear, watch your buffs. Your gems, you normally want to just go Mastery and Haste anyway. You don't want any crit in there. Your main primary gem is 181 primal stat and 15% critical effect per unique Algari gem color, which is obviously you want one of them. You always want one of them in your gear, people. And that's it. That's it, really. Please do like and subscribe. Let me know what you want me to do next. We will be doing more guides. I've been a little bit slow because we've been pushing over on different platforms. But people, thank you very much for your time. Make sure you subscribe, please. Try to hit 1K, please.